I've been slacking on my new product trials. So today I did something I don't usually do. I bought something without even looking at the price, which is completely opposite of what I usually do because I'm very budget minded and I'm trying to be very smart with my money. But something looked good, or what the heck, it can't be that expensive. Well, I was a little bit wrong. So we have some Ballpark jerky, which I did not know existed, and it is bourbon barbecue flavor. Usually bourbon barbecue, bourbon anything that's food related is really good. I'm not a huge bourbon drinker by any stretch of the imagination, but the flavoring that seems to go on meat seems to be pretty good. Went up, just brought it to the register, and it rang up at $7.99 at a Shell gas station. So beware. It's 2.85 ounces like any other jerky, I think. It's going to be pricey, so I'm trying to make this last a while. I washed it down with some of my favorite Sobe Energy Elixir. Actually, it says Citrus Energy, but good stuff. Let's tear into it. Maybe we'll tear into it. Smells like bourbon jerky. Tastes like bourbon jerky. A whole lot more smoke flavor than anything else, but that's pretty much what jerky is anyway, right? Just smoke flavoring on meat. That's good stuff. I mean, if you want to pay a premium price, it's probably worth it. Not something I'll do in a long time. But, you know, maybe on the road, when I finally get on the road, this might be a good choice because I'm a little less budget conscious when I'm out on vacation. Just trying to have a good time. So, check it out. I didn't even know Ballpark made jerky. They make more than hot dogs now. Thanks, guys. See you in a little bit. Hey, everybody. Hope all is well out there in YouTube world. Just exploring what is quite literally my backyard. Own quite a bit of woodland, and we burn wood in the winter, so just kind of surveying where I want to cut next and what's going on. But today for you, I'm going to show you all of the devices that I need to have hooked up in the car. I didn't realize how many different electronic devices I'll have to have plugged in, especially now that I'm going to be recording the driving portion of my trips. I'll have the going forward camera and the camera facing me, and then a couple other things plugged in so they can get charged, you know, GPS and whatnot, but we'll walk through those. And that way you can see the burden I have of trying to make sure that I have enough cords and input locations for these. I could probably use a USB multi-port plug-in for the DC in the car. My only concern is how much power I'm drawing out of that port. Most cars nowadays, especially a newer car, imagine if I get a 2017 rental car, that it'll have enough, or it will have several ports to plug into. Now, whether the total capacity for all the ports combined will be enough to support it, I guess I'll have to check that when I get the car. But in the past, I've had 3 or 4 different things plugged into a car, and it always seemed to be fine. So I can't imagine this would be too much different. So let's walk through that real quick. This would be the collection of devices I'm going to have with me that will need to be charged at some point. Obviously I have my voice recorder, but that runs off AAA batteries, so that's not a big deal. So I'm hoping that the rental car has plenty of charging power and available DC ports, or maybe even some auxiliary USB ports that you can plug stuff into. I guess we'll start right to left, actually, because I want to go through the phones first. So here are the different cellular devices I'll have. But this phone here is my standard AT&T iPhone. This is an AT&T cellular capable tablet, which I do a lot of basic editing on, and also use this to manage a lot of my YouTube stuff. This is obviously the cord. I can charge either of those with a USB input. I do also over here have an Apple charger for the car. I don't have a duplicate though, just the one, so they could buy another one pretty easy. This is a Verizon network capable phone. It's actually through the service provider Page Plus. That gives me some diversity in networks. That way, if I get into a spot that only has Verizon towers but no AT&T, I still have a way to communicate. This one here represents the AT&T Go phone. So that will work on the AT&T and the GSM networks in Canada. So actually this does show the 4 cellular devices that I will have. We have AT&T, Verizon, and Canada capable. This is a charging cable that will fit the 2 non-Apple products. So I got those 2 covered. And I actually also have a charger for those as well, that middle one there. Obviously we have my computer, which I do not have a car charger for, but I do have this inverter that if I desperately need to charge that in the car, I have an ability to, but the inverter is very inefficient and it pulls a lot of energy from the power system in the car. I've kind of learned the limitations of that in the past. It works for what it's supposed to, it just doesn't have a whole lot of extra capacity. Then we have the 2 driving cameras that we have here. Obviously the front facing, the camera that faces me, and then the front facing wide angle camera. Those will all both have to be plugged in full time. So I have the 2 USB connectors those will have to be dedicated, as well as the GPS that just goes into a straight DC connect. So I guess in a pinch, what I could do is just not use the GPS and use my iPhone. If I'm charging it anyway, just use the iPhone to plug or to get directions with, so that would work pretty good. And then this little guy over here is the extra battery charger for my wide-angle driving camera. So I suppose I wouldn't have to charge that all the time, just when it's in need. But I definitely need to have that capability. I'm sure if I stop like every few days, I could just plug those in. But the batteries don't actually last as long as I had hoped. What I also could do there is if I have the computer plugged into the inverter, I can plug that into the computer and charge it. So, same with any of the other devices. I could probably even use the computer battery to charge some of us in a pinch. If I don't have anything plugged in, it'll just drain the battery faster. Yeah, and so I have that, which has got it's multiple USB, plus I can use it as a regular outlet if I want to charge stuff. But that pretty much covers everything. Please give me any feedback or questions. You can see that's a lot of devices I got to hook up. I'm sure it'll all turn out okay. If not, I'll just prioritize based on what I need at the time. There'll be several stops along the way where I can plug things into some real AC power. I'm sure it'll be fine. If you hadn't noticed, this is actually video number 10. So we're now into double digits. I can't believe I've actually been doing this for over a month now. Hopefully my content has got more entertaining in that time. Hopefully I look a little more comfortable in the camera. I certainly feel more comfortable recording myself now. Next time around, I'll walk through the cell providers for all of the phones I have and all the different devices and where I got them, where they came from, that sort of thing. I'm sure by then I'll also have had my Go phone, my AT&T Go phone come in the mail too. Tell you about that and the different service restrictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this shorter video. I will see you when I can. Everyone have a great day.